Good afternoon. My name is Sandra M. White, and this is my leadership reflection. Today is June 13th, 2021. This week presented many opportunities for me to reflect on leadership. I have often stated that I wanted to be a great leader, and after reading this week and my experiences, I've realized that I want to be a great influencer instead. I want to influence people positively that I come in contact with daily. In one of our readings this week by Franco, 2017, it spoke on 7 habits to lead up that I believe will help with my goal of becoming a great influencer. The first one was the habit of developing my emotional intelligence. The second one was using the power for good, using my power for good, The third one was choosing to be an effective leader over being a right leader. Next was being intentional and prepared. Helping my boss was another habit. Agreeing to disagree. And lastly, not expecting credit from what I do. So leadership, how can I make this happen? I now that I think about it, probably should have put influencer. How can I make this happen? I have many opportunities to lead. I'm presented with opportunities to lead in my home, at my church, and here at work. The roles I take on in these different opportunities would be mom, sister, aunt, church member, administrator, and friend. My 2 adult children present opportunities daily where I need to be influential. We moved from when they were younger, making sure that they didn't touch the stove is one example. But now as adults, I want to make sure that I am influencing them in my day-to-day dealings with people in the outside world. When you go to a store or just people in general, as you come and go meeting people, I want to make sure that they see me doing the right thing so that I can influence them to do the right thing. I have an example. I chose to speed because I was running late and my daughter was in the car with me and I was pulled over for speeding. And, that influence at that moment could have gone wrong. I could have lied to the officer. I could have made excuses. All kinds of things could have taken place, but instead I chose to fess up to it. Yes, I was speeding, was running late. I was wrong for that, and the officer actually gave me a warning and didn't give me the ticket. But I used the example because that was an influential moment where my daughter was sitting in the car watching to see what mom was going to do. So it's helpful, and people are always watching. And so have to be careful on what you do and how you interact with people. The benefits, challenges, and the SEL skills that's a hard word to say altogether, are important. The benefits, I just talked about one with my daughter. There's also benefits of working with my nieces and nephews. Because I am in education, they often ask me questions about higher education. They often ask, what they should do in dealing with their friends in high school. So I have a lot of benefits of my influence going to help them out. In my church, I want to use the example of a benefit if I was displaying the love of Christ, I can influence someone to feel welcome, or I can be that influence when they walk in the door because I work in the hospitality as a greeter. So just my mannerisms, my attitudes, my ways of greeting them can be an influence on how they will respond in the service. And here at work, often come to work and you can have a lot on your mind, and well, I can speak for myself, have a lot on my mind. And so when I walk through the doors, I have to be careful. I think this is a challenge for me. I would have to be careful that I don't wear my emotions when I walk through the door, because when I'm walking on campus, I never know what student is watching, what staff member is watching. So I have to always be mindful of my attitude and my emotions. And I think leads into the SEL skill of self-awareness, knowing that when I wake up in the morning, some days aren't good. And so I have to put my emotions in check. I have to be careful of how I approach the workplace. Another challenge that I think I face in becoming in a great influencer would be the need to be right all the time. And that is because I'm one of 8 children, and in a big family. I found myself fighting to be right. So that is one of the challenges I'm working on with my in my role as a leader. I want to be effective. So it means I have to give up sometimes that needing to be right, because I want to be effective. I want to make sure I take into account people's feelings and listening to them and agreeing to disagree. We don't always have to agree on things. But that is a challenge that I am working on as we speak. Becoming more self-aware about my emotions will help. And it also will help me recognize that I have to take the responsibility of my emotions, like I said earlier, because people are always watching. My influence will come from the example I set, and the students on campus, the staff, my personal children, my church family. They will all benefit from me empowering them to do things they thought could not happen. And so that's how I would like to become a great influencer. I appreciate your time and hope you enjoyed this video.